And we are live. Okay. Hi, everybody. We are going to do the intro card, and we'll be right back.
I live in dead, I'll die indebted to your hold. Born again, I swear I wouldn't breathe a word. If you could find me, take me back and make me whole. We're a circus, ruin my body with your corpse. So can you help me out?
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another installment of CrafteaMess. I think this would be 12, 13. I've lost count.
12.
12?
Yeah, I think it's our
Okay.
12. Yeah.
Okay, so 12th installment here. Next would be a special mukbang episode.
Lucky 13.
Oh my goodness, it is lucky number 13.
Lucky 13.
Yeah, we're still trying to figure out the true crime that we want to talk about, but that will be another fun little episode here. If you hear some banging and stuff on my end, it's because there's some construction going around.
How long are they going to do that?
Well, okay, so the construction before was to tear down the warehouse. The one that's happening now is to redo the outside of my house.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah. And the guys are like really cool. They've been doing a really good job, and they're doing like a really fast job. So maybe just another week or so. But we've been hearing rumors that the plot next to us is going to be purchased by Google. So yeah, it'll be really interesting. So what are you working on today, Mel?
So I've been working on this like crochet headband after I did my first crochet the last time. What did we do last time? Oh, I was baking brownies and then I was crocheting this like bottom. It's like a bottom to a like macrame bag that I'm actually in the middle of making as well. So then I was looking up like things to crochet, like what other things can I do because I don't want to just buy one needle and just keep it around. So I saw these like crochet headbands that I thought these are so cute that to make for my nieces, and I have 5 nieces that I am in the middle of making. I'm on the last one. But yesterday I was doing my walk, and it was like so cold outside that my ears were freezing off. That I was thinking, man, I needed one of those ear warmers, like these headbands to like use for it. I think I'm gonna make myself one now, an adult version.
I mean, you just gotta like add a couple more stitches to lengthen it, right?
Yeah, I just have to do like more rows to it.
Okay.
Yeah, the video that showed me, she did the adult version and I did the kids version. So she just made like more rows.
Oh well.
Well, there was another pattern.
It's a fast project.
It is, yeah. And there was another pattern that is actually I might like better. So we'll see. I haven't decided on which one yet. Yeah. Are you on your last batch?
Yeah, I'm on my last. These are the last, like I think, batch of flowers that are gonna be blooming this season.
Okay.
And I'm foraging in like some of the most obscure places, and the ones that I've picked so far are kind of like invasive, and if they don't take care of it, it will like start eating other people's gardens and stuff. So I figured I will add to the community by picking them and pressing them.
That's very nice of you. Like, this whole time, yeah, how sweet. This whole time, like, those white puff balls they see outside. I never associated them as dandelions, or maybe I did, and I thought it was that the puffballs, what happened? The puffballs would grow into the yellow flower, but it's actually the other
Oh.
way around. Tony like shed some light on this, and he was like, "No, no, honey. Like it's actually the yellow dandelion dies, folds up, and then sprouts these like white puffballs because just one of those like little puffs can travel like 500 miles away, or I don't know, it's an obscene maybe 200, and they each will grow one.
Yeah,
And I
yeah, that's why
actually,
it's so invasive.
well, but see, most people see dandelions as like, obviously weeds and just very annoying, but I see
Mhm.
them as being pretty because I actually love,
They are.
you know, as a kid, that you go around and you're taking those and you're blowing on them, right? Like they're
Yeah.
super fun, and I always find beauty in that. Like they're just really pretty. And then I was thinking as I was walking, because I walk like 5 miles a day now, or no, actually 13 miles a day. And I was thinking on my walks, I was just like, people think them as weeds, but I actually see them as like resilient because they have strong roots, right? They have
Mhm,
strong
mhm.
root, they have strong foundation. So to me, they kind of symbolize. And as I was looking it up too, this is all my mind going through. It's like, what does dandelion like, mean? And it says like it means happiness, it means like strength. And I totally see that. Because happiness
Well,
with like the sun, like it looks like little mini sunflowers.
yeah. I think that's the thing with wildflowers is that they're like really resilient.
Yeah.
And even if they don't bloom the following year, their seeds are so like strong that it will like live in the soil to bloom the
Yeah.
year after. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't know. It's just it's really cool to see them grow, and I always associate like wildflowers with women because it's like we're also resilient and
Yes.
we're thrown in situations that are very hard and we still grow and we still bloom. So
Yeah. Yeah. So I take
so
it
that's why
as
go ahead.
I'm glad. No, I took it instead of them being like annoyance or um annoying weeds. I take them as like just pretty like resilient flowers.
And they're such a part of everyone's childhood, right?
Right. Totally.
um did you used to play Mama Had a Baby and its head popped off?
Yes, I remember that too.
So
I do remember
so
that.
dark.
But that is pretty dark as well, now that you think about it.
Yeah, but you like hold a dandelion, you just pop in other people's faces, and I'm like, now
Yeah.
that I'm thinking about that's horrifying.
Hey,
Like, why
well,
would?
there was this one TikTok person that I keep running into sporadically, but
Mhm.
she would sing these like uh childhood tunes, and then at the end is like, no, you know what actually means? It kind of gives me the chills now thinking about it.
Mhm.
And it's like there's actually dark meaning behind each childhood like what they call like tunes, right? Like
Like Ring Around the Rosie.
yes. Like
That
there
one
are
is dark too.
actually
Isn't it about like smallpox or like the
yeah,
black plague or
something
something?
I
Yeah.
don't know, but yeah, something like that. But she kept breaking down each childhood like thing, some music that we've always sung as a kid.
Okay,
And it's
so
like
you know.
that's pretty crazy not to think about
Yeah.
it.
Well, like
But
a
now
lot
I'm
of
thinking like,
lullabies are like
not hi
dark.
Katrina. Now I'm thinking about with that head pop off. I was like, what does that mean?
Oh God.
Which
Nope, don't
story
want
did
to
that
know.
come from?
Hard pass.
Right?
Um, no, I mean it's the same with like what is it? No, it's lullabies. Why am I thinking not lullabies, but fairy
Lullaby.
tale stories like Hansel and
Yeah.
Gretel. They're getting
Yeah.
eaten by a witch. Like, come on.
Who wants to know
That's
that?
yeah. So I know, and Rockin' My Baby was another one. And my
Really?
Goody loves to sing that, and I'm like,
Oh
ugh, baby
no.
falling out of a tree in a cradle. I don't
Oh
know if I'm okay with
no.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
no.
anyways, we're on the 12th installment of Crafty Mess. Keep in mind that these are just our opinions, not facts. We are not the news. We are watching things unfold and we're just sharing our opinions and kind of correlate our own experiences to it and maybe give in some thoughts and insights. Yeah.
Totes. And just remember that, whatever we say on here about whoever we talk about, it's just mostly our opinions. Please do not spread hate to them, and no bullying. We do not condone any type of harassment. If you have any thoughts that you would like to express, just comment below the video or comment on the live stream, and then we would totally address it. But yeah, please do not harass others.
Yeah, and there's no point. We're in a pretty bully-free zone here, I think.
Bully-free zone.
Okay, I'm gonna add an Instagram thing. So I figured out how to use my webcam as my craft cam instead of my phone.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna do that now. Okay, so I think basically, if you guys know, I'm still pressing flowers. So that's a thing, pretty much a rundown of what my craft is. And let's get into the topics. Okay, we have 3 that was on the docket, which is the Jeffree Star in his car accident, Bad Baby with Dr. Phil institution, their little child camp that they go through, and then Demi Lovato and the Froyo situation.
Oh my
gosh. One quick thing I do, yeah, I know that's a lot. But one quick thing I just want to throw in there at the beginning is that the cop Chauvin from got prosecuted for murder, and yeah, he's going to be spending about 40 years in jail, and
he hasn't been sentenced yet, right?
No, he's been sentenced. Yeah, the trial's been going on. So it's like there's a couple. I don't know how the counts work, but it was 1 charge for 2nd degree, 1 charge for 3rd degree, and then another one for 2nd.
Right.
So I was thinking about like our true crime for next week, and I know that like you watch Kindle Ray, and I tend to listen to like podcasts of true crime, and I realized one reason why I do that is because, first of all, I don't like to see the images or the pictures, right, of like the crime scene. Another thing I realized is that when I listen to the podcast, I don't see the people, right? Because to me, it's more like murder is murder. It's regardless of what it is. And so if you watch the trial of the Chauvin case, let's take away the fact that he's a cop. Let's take away that the victim was a person of color. Let's take away that the cop is white. If we just look at the facts, he really did murder someone, you know? And so it's just interesting how a lot of people are like,
he murdered someone. He murdered someone, but the thing is, he was emboldened by it, considering that he thought that he would have the police backing behind it, and it has been that way for, I'm sure, so many years. That is why some policemen go out there running amok, thinking that the law is not, that they could break the laws and it won't affect them.
It's an institutional problem, and I think when people argue that, like, especially those who don't understand that there is white privilege, there's institutional racism. If you just go down to the hard facts, it's like Chauvin did murder someone, right? Like that's very bare, and so they can't bring the whole, oh, you hate cops commentary out. So it's like,
and this is not his first offense. Like
it's 18. He has 18 different offense,
no, I think
like
at least 20. I believe there were 20 counts in the past. Like he has had a record, and 2 of which was official on his record. Like that, I listened to one of one of the channel that was talking about him thoroughly, and I was just appalled. He just has a history of violence.
Are you sure it's 20?
I could have sworn that she
18,
said,
and 2 of them where he had to take a break for a little bit. And the sad part is that like he's been in the force for 19 years.
Yep.
So that means he have had a complaint every year when he's in the force. Like,
which is not good.
It's problematic. Like, you don't want that as your, someone who's supposed to protect your community.
Yeah. It's scary to think that these type of people like are there trying to protect the citizen, but they're not. If anything, they're using it as their like little playground, abusing people. And if anything, and also he's definitely had a history against color, like just POC people, like BIPOC people.
Mm-hmm.
He has had plenty of cases that he has just shown violence, and even to like kids. My God, this guy.
Horrible.
I hope he stays behind jail for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm so glad in the sense that like it's such like I don't want to say that it's such a black and white case, because it was very evident that like he used forces that was unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then he also used it in a sense that was very targeted too. It was clear, and it's unfortunate because just last week we saw another issue with Dante Wright that was who's a 20-something-year-old, and that is so sad to me, but I
like
think
needless deaths. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're being held accountable now, and that it's not a boys' club or like a club anymore. But
I mean,
it's
people
also,
are watching,
Yeah, but I think what was it that happened in the 90s? That was in California. It was like a huge, like oh gosh, what's his name? He was a big one too. But that was like in the early 90s. And the only footage we had on that was just like the street cams, and now we have like cell phone cameras and body cams and stuff, and it's like now we're able to hold people accountable. And it's just, at the end of the day, he murdered someone, and at the end of the day, it was racially charged and stigmatized. Like he had his stigma like with him and his prejudgment with him, and it's unfortunate. And I definitely think that, yes, cops are there to protect us, and I also do think that they need more training, and even maybe a little bit more education or like programming or something. So yeah, it's a win for America, I think. For Rodney King, Katrina, you're right, Rodney King. So I think that is a win for us. It's a step forward. So
yeah,
still so many more things to work on, but you know what? At least moving forward, and I think progress is important. Okay, next up, Jeffree Star. Thoughts?
Oh my gosh! Like when you were telling me about his accident, I'd be like, oh, well, no wonder he's been quiet, right? And I didn't think that there was any story behind it until recently, when people were just saying, and it was actually aftermath. Like people were just saying how like, oh, he's making this up. This is all a lie. He's just doing this for attention or whatever. And I'm thinking, how can people be so insensitive? Like with to another person, who's going through like such downtime. Like really? I thought it was unfair to say that.
Yeah. And I think we've said this before, like Jeffree Star can be pretty problematic and probably not my favorite person on earth. Even still, we would never wish something like that.
No.
Would never wish ill will. Would still
like
want that he have a roof on his head and food and stuff.
Of course. And he has like a body cast on and like things like that. It's like, I don't think this is something that you would make up to be in a hospital. Like, he's it's not like the hospital would be able to do that, you know. Allow him have access to a room, hospital room, so he could be filming. That's so weird.
And even so, like, there were some people who were saying that, like, oh, he's faking it. And then there's others that are like, oh, I hope he dies. I'm
Whoa,
like,
I did not.
You haven't seen that?
I did not see that
there was
comment.
Yeah, and like,
Wow.
Jeffree did address it. He was just like, well, I wish nothing horrible happens to you because
Right.
this is
Oh my
painful.
gosh.
And it's like, people can be bad people, but they don't deserve to die, right?
Yeah.
And I think we can take it back to the George Floyd thing. When that happened, people pulled up his like records, like as if that is a reason why this
And why
other
his
thing
death
should
is justified? No.
Exactly. So it's
No,
it's
no.
like, it's the same with Jeffree. It's, yeah, he's been problematic and maybe he's not the best role model for us. Still, it's not a reason why he should die,
Yeah.
And I can't imagine breaking my back. Like, that's oof,
No, I can't either. But and
know.
then they were saying how he drove through like black ice, and obviously him growing up from LA and everything, they're just not used to it. Driving in the snow. And I also remember, like, when I was in college, driving up to Penn State, and I slid on black ice as well. So it's very scary. You have to be a really good driver in inclement weather. And I do not consider myself a great driver in inclement weather. So I most definitely, when it comes to that, like, you want to take extra precautions. So obviously he didn't do that.
Yeah. Or maybe he did and he just didn't see it. And
No, you need training to do that. He just doesn't have enough training to be driving like that.
Or experience. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Because I mean, what happens is that people slam on their brakes.
Yep. And that's
you're
the
actually
wrong.
supposed to like slow down.
Yeah.
And then you're supposed to like try to find a curb to like.
Yeah. Like, you're definitely what is it called?
Yeah.
You don't slam down on the brakes on it, and you definitely do not like use the steering wheel. It has to be like with the force, not against it, and that otherwise you would definitely spiral out of control.
Yeah. It's like, if you go right, you're supposed to like kind of versus like trying to. But it's also like instinct, right? Like, naturally you want to go away from
totally.
from the danger. So I can understand, which is again practice, right? Like, how many times do we skid off of the road? And like, I grew up in Nebraska, and I've had instances of like spinning my car, but never in a place where it would roll off a ditch. It's always like on a road with like with curbs and stuff that would stop my car. So that's, it's sad, and it's sad how there are a group of people who are like, I wish worst happened to you.
Oh man,
and
just makes me sad when I hear stuff like that. It's like, the humanity in this world. Seriously.
How are you going to sit here and expect Jeffree to do better and be a better person when you're here going, I hope worse happened to you? Like,
when you're an a-hole about it.
Yeah, clearly you're no better than him either. Like, it really is the example of taking the high road situation, So that's that on Jeffree. I know his friend is having more problems than him because he also have an underlying illness as well. He just went through colon cancer.
Right.
And so he's having some internal issues. So hopefully he will be okay. And
imagine
Huh?
Like imagine if something, and I don't want to say this like I definitely don't wish the worst or anything like that, but like I can feel in Jeffree like probably how guilty he is to put his friend in this position too.
Yep.
Like if you were in the car with me and like something happened, something like that, like I would be so guilty, like being the cause of
Yeah.
that. So can you imagine that plus having to
Yeah.
like, you know, look at all the comments, like all those
Yeah.
hateful comments is that doesn't really help with your mentality, your mental health, or your mental
No.
mind.
Yeah. I've heard that like he's like paying for his friends like
Oh, good.
surgery and stuff. So that's
Well, that's
you
good.
know, Jeffrey, I from what I can feel is that like if he doesn't like you,
Yeah,
he will set you on fire or
yeah.
whatever. But if he loves you, it feels
He will be
like
loyal to you.
he would be very ride and die.
Right.
However, I think he has been burned often
Yeah.
and a lot, and that also again explains the personality and the actions and the roles that he takes in life, right?
Yeah, totally. I totally agree.
I mean, that's just
Ay.
the compassionate side of us just taking over,
Mhm.
and understanding that people, they have their trial and tribulations through life, and that makes them who they are.
Mhm.
And the fact that he's actually being quiet is
He's been
is
pretty
like,
quiet.
yeah, it's kind of like it's very different for him.
Mhm.
Because before he's always like, I'm never gonna be a part of a drama, and then he always come back and then like,
Mhm.
clap back. And so this is kind of like the first time you really get to see him kind of log off a little bit.
I mean, I think that's great.
Mm-hmm. All right, should we talk about Demi Lovato?
What the hell? I no, honestly, like I thought that she, is like a sound mind person, but after
Mm-hmm.
hearing that she went off on a small like froyo company who is merely just making sure that they have all the options available for diabetic people, for like vegan people, and she goes off making this her like just saying that it was feel like an attack on culture, diet culture. I'm just like, what? And then she wants it to be clearly, she didn't know that they were for other. I mean, how do you not know? Have you been living on a rock? Do you not know what diabetes like are? Do you not know, all the other stuff that doesn't revolve around dietary like or the dieting atmosphere, what do you call it, environment? And I thought she went way overboard on that one.
Well, we didn't state a trigger warning here, so
Oh,
here's the trigger
sorry.
warning. We will be talking about eating disorders here.
Yeah.
And then the next topic, we will be talking about child abuse. So again, protect your energy, and protect your emotional health. So here we go. No,
Okay, sorry. I just kind of jumped right into it because I was just like, wait, what the heck?
no, no,
Like,
no, no. But still,
yeah.
I
So,
don't think you've
okay.
talked about the eating disorder part.
No, I
So
didn't.
so
No. So I know that she went through an eating disorder. So I think it was a trigger with her. But her first
yes.
instinct was to go online and to harass this froyo company, froyo like small mom and pop, I'm sure,
Mhm.
shop. Instead of sitting back, analyzing like, what's going on, what am I feeling on all that stuff, like her first instinct is to attack. And now she says, and then afterwards, she went online to apologize, saying that, I'm sorry, like I didn't realize this and this when I went through it, talking about this. But I wish that things were advertised or written out plainly. And like, I've gone to plenty of places where I don't need to say, oh, is this for like, I'm not gonna go and pick up a sugar-free thing thinking that this is just for dieting reasons or non-dairy or like a non-dairy thing, saying this is also like for dieting reasons. Like I'm gonna say like there's nowhere I can say, there's no places that I know that'd be like, here, try froyo for diabetes. Here, try froyo for vegan. Like, that's not very appetizing either, woman. Like, I'm just like, this woman needs to tear her
From a
head.
marketing standpoint,
No,
that
from
is
a
not
marketing
something.
standpoint, I don't go up and be reading things for diabetes or for something like, no, that's not going to be, if anything, that's going to deter me from froyo instead of walking in there. And this woman, she needs to sit back and just have
Well,
a chill pill.
I don't. Let's see. How am I going to word this in the most empathetic way that I can without
Yeah,
coming out
right.
judgy?
I am so
It's
judgy right
hard
now. It's
here.
not
It's
even funny.
Nell's
Like,
a little bit more straightforward. I'm a little bush beating here.
I'm like straight to the point, straight to the point.
I put the sugar on it, even though we're talking about sugar free here.
I
Okay.
carve the sugar on top like a creme brulee.
Yeah. Okay. So I know that going through like any trauma is it's hard, right? Because she went through an eating disorder. She also went through a drug overdose, which again is also very hard. Now I also understand that from her documentary and also like from her social media that she is still going through the work to take care of those things. So when I think about like my own mental health journey, like when I talk to my therapists and stuff, a lot of it is very, hello Sparkles. We are talking about Demi
Hi.
Lovato and the froyo situation.
Welcome.
Welcome. You're getting into the nice part here.
You missed my
So
rant.
yeah, you missed Mel's very very straightforward opinion. Okay, so how I see is that like when you think about like therapy, you have to think about yourself and your journey, and then you reflect back to all of your actions and all the people how they have treated you in the past. So it's very like me, and very inward thinking, right? And it's and I've heard this quote before where like being depressed is also like a very self-serving mental illness because you're always thinking about what other people think of you, what you think of yourself. So it's again very me.
Mm-hmm.
So I can understand that when she's going through this journey, she's thinking about herself and her triggers and understanding her triggers, which I get it. Like you need to be able to identify these feelings, right? The issue is she's not in the part of her journey where she knows how to handle the emotions that she is realizing.
Yep.
So there's understanding your triggers, like what triggers you, and then knowing how to handle the trigger, right? Like for me, for a very long time,
yeah.
like I couldn't look at a Chanel ad without freaking the hell out, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what am I gonna do? Go to Chanel and be like, take down your billboards, don't be in my Vogue magazines, stop doing runways, take all of your product off of your shelves. Like,
And
the world.
I get
I mean.
it. Like I get it. And knowing that she's going through that, knowing that she's still very probably raw and things like that, it might not be the best of time to take herself a froyo place and get triggered. Maybe she should have like Instacart that crap, or maybe she could have like done something that would know like that she could help herself not get triggered.
Yeah, I think like the first thing is like staying away from triggers. Obviously, it's gonna be hard because it's everywhere. Froyo is everywhere. But it's staying away from it. But then like reintroducing yourself to the trigger slowly.
Yeah.
And then reacting in a way that doesn't take away a mom and pop shop that has been operating for like 30 years.
The poor, but there is the upside where that mom and pop shop is getting the most attention. So a lot
Yeah.
of people are definitely going there to support, which is great. I love like
Yes.
the what was it? The aftermath of that, is that they still got free publicity without even
Yeah.
knowing.
But you know what though? In her apology, she was saying
Yeah.
that like she was trying to protect the little her. She was trying to protect everyone else who's going through the same thing. And I think that's
No.
awesome. Like vocalize that, right? But she didn't have to
Mhm.
tag the business. Like if I'm
Mhm.
upset about something, I could talk about it on Instagram. I don't need to tag the business. I don't need to put a name to what I'm complaining about,
It was an
right?
extreme. Honestly, it
Yeah.
was it was one that went way, way off the rail.
It was a little tone deaf, I feel like. Like it kind of
Totally.
just went past. Like she should have had
Totally.
someone like check what she was gonna
Yes.
write and be like, girl,
Maybe she should have talked to a therapist prior to like posting this on social.
or even a friend or something, and so they
Possibly.
could be like,
Someone to keep her a little grounded there.
yeah, and
I just don't understand. How long have you lived in this world that you don't understand that there are diabetes in the world and there are other people besides, like omnivores on this world?
okay,
Jesus.
so let's see. Hello, Sparkles. Okay, let's see. She said, I think like Mel is saying that she should
Yeah.
realize that she can't go and see that stuff. But from what
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand is how could she not know that wasn't meant as a diet or
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. How long have you lived in this world that you don't understand the concept?
I mean, like, here's my like, you know, playing devil's advocate situation where it's like, celebrities do live a very sheltered life.
Sure.
Sometimes they're not in the public all the time. They have their
Yeah.
assistants pick up their stuff. So maybe she hasn't, she may is actually living under a rock. Like
A
maybe that is
bubble.
the case, a bubble. So,
Oh my gosh.
but to believe that
That's even
people,
more reason that she needs to be going through a second and third opinion before posting on
yeah,
social.
exactly. It's, do you remember when we were in Rome and I was
Hmm.
going through my like
Yes.
dairy phase? And
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
we're
yeah.
walking around, and every gelato place did not have dairy-free gelato. And the
Right.
only thing that was like kind of dairy-free was like their melon one, which is like
The
so
sorbets.
good, the
Yeah, yeah.
sorbet. But even that
Hmm.
still had a little bit of dairy in it to create that
Mm.
creamy texture, which
But
I
that
don't
didn't
care.
stop
Like,
you from, I know, I was like, that didn't stop you
no,
from
no, no,
like
no, no.
devouring
No,
that.
by the end of the trip, I was like, I'm in Rome once. I'm gonna
Yep.
freaking eat this. I don't care if I break out. Let me just whatever.
Live
But
and
the
let
thing was, I
breathe.
wasn't like going into Rome and thinking this whole city need to be freaking dairy free. Like it was just okay, man, this sucks.
Yeah, right.
I can't have it. And then this sucks and that sucks. And then I was like, you
But
know what? Whatever.
yeah,
I'm
if
eating.
anything, you should applaud that mom and pop shop to have all these varieties for different types of like people with dietary
Exactly.
needs. Like you should applaud that. Like I would welcome a froyo around here that serve vegan options. Totally welcome that.
Yeah. It's like, if you guys want to come to Houston, Texas, come on. If you guys want to be in Maryland, come on. You guys have
Right?
fans, you know. But I think even the way they responded to her was also very polite. She also said
They
that,
did,
like,
yeah.
yeah, and she also said, my intent was good, which is great, but the result was negative. So who
So
cares what your
negative.
intent was? Just
Yeah.
apologize. I wanted to do something that I thought was going to be positive, but it ended up being negative, and I'm sorry for that. And next
Yeah.
time I will, quote unquote, like she said, do better. My
Oh
gosh,
my
I
gosh.
saw that and I was just like, dude,
Yeah.
you need to literally check yourself. Like I was just,
Totally.
and being like a small business owner myself, like if she was
Mm.
ever to like complain about my sticker shop or something, I would be so annoyed.
You're gonna go create a Demi Lovato sticker and send it to her.
Oh my gosh, it's just, oh gosh, it was just hard to watch.
She
And
totally does need a social media filter.
yeah, and she did the first documentary. I think this is her second one. And I can't help but think that she's kind of monetizing her problems. Does
You
that
think
make
so?
sense?
Oh, you think so?
It's
What documentary
yeah.
is she on?
So the first one was talking about like her overdose. And
Oh,
then
okay.
and then now this second one, she like was saying that like the first one is a lie. She was forced to do that one because of the producer, whatever. And she's like saying in the second one, she's like, now what I'm saying is actually true. What I said before is not like legit or
Okay.
whatever.
You know what? She
Okay.
needs to stop because she's gonna end up being the wolf that cry, the boy that cry wolf.
Yeah.
Like she needs to
Yep.
stop. No one's gonna really pay attention to what she says is valid anymore.
Yep. Well, and here's another thing. Apparently, NBC signed a deal with her to
Hmm.
create a show called Hunger, where it's about eating disorders, and
Oh
it
no.
was just signed like last week, or they announced
Uh-huh.
it last week. So now I can't imagine. Like, it's hard for me to not think that she's not monetizing her quote unquote issues.
I think that's wrong.
So I
I don't know. I
I
think that's
guess.
wrong to do that.
I mean, she is playing it off as like she's trying to add a voice to these things, which I think is great, and we need more conversations about it. But I also don't know if she's actually having the conversation as much as it just talking about herself.
Right. Like I
You know?
don't it's fine in a way that like she wants to lend a voice to like people who, but I don't know. The issue has been around for ages, okay? But second, to use it as like a marketing ploy, like I don't like that.
Yeah. Yeah, it just feels
There's a
that
hidden
way.
agenda. It doesn't, yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't look good.
Yeah. So let's see. Hello Sparkle said she needs a social media filter person while she's going through this time, since she is a public person in her opinion. And they also need milk-free, nut-free, soy-free, coconut-free ice cream. Someone make that happen. That's ice.
Wow.
I'm thinking of like that ice.
Is that
Oh.
tiny bit overboard? Tiny bit.
Oh no, God, this is so sad.
I know. There
It does
is.
exist, right?
It's called ice.
Wait, a milk-free, nut-free, soy-free, coconut-free ice cream.
It's
No, everything I know is like
it's
coconut.
ice. No,
Yeah, it's
they
ice, right?
have wait, nut free. Did she say nut free?
Yeah, nut-free, soy-free, and coconut-free.
Well,
I
what
can't
about
think.
oat? They have oat milk ice cream. Is
But
that
that's wheat, right?
yeah? But she didn't say gluten free.
Oh, she didn't say gluten. You are right. You are right. There you go. Oh, ice cream.
No. She didn't
Yeah,
say
that
gluten.
exists.
Doesn't exist. Oat milk doesn't exist.
Oh, she's like, that's not all of my stupid allergies. Please don't tell me it's celiac. Please don't tell me it's celiac. Please don't tell me
Sorry.
it's gluten. we're hoping so much that oat is gonna work for you.
Oh, no, seriously. Like I wish I have some kind of allergies. The only allergy that I have is an allergic reaction to petroleum, which is petroleum, and only used around my lips. Okay, which is a
Oh, yeah.
weird thing because there was an instance that my sister, she would put petroleum jelly on her lips. Right, most people do that, and it would just make your lips soft. So I thought, oh,
Yeah.
nice. Let me go and try that. I go and tried it, and then I started getting these like tiny like little bumps on the bottom of my lips, and I have no idea what it was. So I continued to put more petroleum jelly on it.
Oh gosh.
And then it got worse. And then when I stopped, it got better. So yes, I can have that, but that is. I wish I have some kind of food allergy because I honestly can eat anything I want, and I have no way to stop myself. Like I have no portion
You
control.
don't want a
I
food
could,
allergy, okay?
yeah, I don't have a lot
It's
of food
one of those.
allergies. And so it's funny because on my cheat days, I would sit and eat like no, not Godiva, Ferrero Rocher. It's probably one of my weaknesses. And like I could sit there and eat like 3 at a time. And then Tony would buy one for me and he would look around and he's like, how'd you already polish 3 that I just gave you, you know? And I was like,
in your
oh, I know, one in each treat. So yeah, I wish I have some kind of like dietary control. Oh,
Dude,
it's really sad. It's really
too.
sad. I could sit and eat a whole bag of Snickers, like Snicker minis. Like I could sit and eat a whole bag with not even a bat blink of an eye.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah.
It's so funny. Oh my goodness. Let's see what. Okay, what did she? Miss Sparkle says, "Nope, you don't." It's so annoying to
Aw.
go. They say, "Nope, can't eat that." No, not. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. I mean, because it's like for example, you know, I can eat meat. I just choose not to. But you just have no choice. Like no choice. Like it's not even a choice given to you. So yeah, no, it sucks to be limited.
Katrina said the avocados are the only thing that
Oh
are
yeah,
off
that is
limit.
a thing.
Yeah.
Oh
I was
no, but they have
surprised.
avocado ice cream, which is actually not my favorite. But they have
No.
avocado ice cream.
Yeah. It's. I do think the oat option is probably like one of the best.
Yeah.
But the avocados, yeah, there's an avocado taste, and it's
There is.
fun. Well, I am still waiting for like lab made meat, engineered meat. That would be nice.
I was thinking
Better.
about like I am curious about it. I don't know if with the lab grown meat, if I would still want to eat the red meat. I think I would at least go to eating the lab grown chicken because I do miss chicken wings.
Mhm.
Is just one of my like I do miss that. I don't know if I told anyone, but the first year that I completely cut off chicken, like I've always been on and off on my vegetarian journey, and it started when in the last session I talked about. It started because of me doing this animal testing speech, and since then I was eating I cut out beef, but it was eating chicken. But then it wasn't until maybe 6 years ago, I want to say that my sister told me about the documentary vegan. Oh shoot! Now I forgot the Netflix. It just got out of my mind. But it was after that documentary that I went and cut off chicken. So then that first year, I was dreaming of chicken wings. Like I was dreaming like of chicken wings, like eating it. I guess I was missing it. But you know, like your body does go through a section of like kind of detoxing, and I think that was the period of me like detoxing like all meat from my system, you know.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm definitely not vegan.
Yeah.
But I think we talked about that. I don't like pork, so that like kind of fish, I'm fine. I do like chicken, but I'm picky with my chicken now.
Oh
It
yeah.
has to be like, huh?
Oh no, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, I'm picky. I think I've always been, but I just never realized it. That I like pasture raised chicken because they taste different. Like you can really tell. And then I do like red meat, but probably like once a week. But I think I would consider myself like more vegetarian with the one a week red meat.
Yeah, I
And if there's
say I'm a flexitarian. It's honestly what's available to me. So you know, if there's like a vegan option, I would choose that. But if there's like no, then you know, I'll be flexible over it. But I told Tony the other day too. I was like, you know, I have no problem eating it again. I think it's more about the way the animals are being treated before going to, you know, their end of the life kind of situation. And I just don't agree with the farming industry, you know, like I just don't agree with how they treat the animals before they die. I feel like, you know, they should have a nice life, you know, without being tortured before seeing the end of their life. And I just, you know, so the whole thing is like, yeah, but I really am looking forward to the lab grown meat.
Yeah.
I really do think that that would help the will help the farming industry, like maybe get better at their practices.
Yeah. And
I actually at some point want a chicken farm, a chicken coop.
my brother has one now.
Oh yeah.
They yeah, they moved out into like the country, so they have like
Oh
a little.
wow.
They own their little lake that they fish, and then they have like their
Nice.
own chicken coop. It's really cute. Um, I mean, it's hard work. He's
Yeah.
complained often,
Oh
but
yeah.
yeah, but you know, it's still really cute, and they're
Oh,
you know they're doing the little farming life. It's cute.
I think that's
Um,
cute.
yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, it's like unless all like for me, I feel like the farming industry is not going to get better
Mm-hmm.
until poverty gets better, right?
Yeah.
Because people who can't afford high-end meat will always choose the lesser option,
Yeah.
and the lesser option sadly might not come with some ethical practices,
No,
you
it's so
know.
true. Like the farming industry cannot compete with like the mass one. Like, or I mean, the mom and pops like farmers, they can't
Yeah.
compete, and it's really sad. Like, I just want something to change. I do have a
Yeah.
hard stop at noon, so
Um yeah, so I mean, the thing is, you know, it's one step at a time. I think we're
yeah,
at a place on the market where there's so many more options, which we haven't seen in the past decade.
yeah,
And now there are also cheaper options too, because like I have
totally.
a Whole Foods 365, which is like the cheaper
Ooh,
option of Hope, like their in-store brand. And so it's like we get a lot of like organic or
mm-hmm.
dairy-free or nut-free options for a much cheaper value. And the great thing about this store is that it is placed in a community that can't afford that kind of stuff,
Oh,
you know,
good.
and don't have the transportation to get
Mm-hmm.
to a fresh grocery store. You know, like food
Mm-hmm.
deserts is a very real thing too. But I
Mm-hmm.
guess we will have to save the bad baby stuff for next week, since it's a bigger topic too.
Yeah.
Um, but anyways, you guys, thank you so much for joining us for this episode. I barely even touched any of the flowers that I need to press. Yeesh.
Oh.
I know.
You
Yeah.
should get the white puffy dandelions to press.
Well, I tried, but they fall apart.
Oh, they do.
That's
Oh,
the
that
thing.
sucks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can
So
you
like,
spray them with a hairspray and maybe that'll help?
no, maybe, but by the time like I carry them home,
That's true.
like, there's a lot of containment that you have to think about to
Yeah,
get to the
yeah,
press.
no, that's true.
Yeah. But like here we have desert chicories. I don't know if you can see it,
No.
but it's like it's
That's
not quite a
cute.
dandelion because
Yeah.
in the middle it's a little bit more open, but it is in the dandelion family. But their puffs are
Oh,
huge,
no
and like
way.
literally you'll see this everywhere. Like
Oh,
where the
nice.
train tracks I live,
Yeah.
it's covering the train tracks. So I just went behind and I was just like picking them up.
Oh.
Yeah, she was like
The
hella sparkles,
wind.
like yeah, blowing winds, like kind of an issue.
by,
Um,
by that time it's just nubbins.
yeah, I come back with like literally this. Like, I'm like, okay, nothing to show for it, and it's and the thing is like it's very specific too.
Yeah.
Like not
Yeah,
all of them
no.
are gonna puff at a certain time, and you have to make sure you get there before the wind takes it, and or like kids pick them.
That's
It's
true.
it's too much.
It's too much. No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I've been bringing it up. My bad. What the heck was I thinking about?
I mean, if we can't even take dandelions
I
home to like
know.
press, how are we gonna fix the farming industry?
Right?
Come on, one problem at a time.
One problem at a time. One
Uh,
carbon footprint at a time.
I know.
Oh
All right,
gosh.
guys.
All right,
Please
guys. This was
bid you
fun.
farewell. Have fun. Have a great weekend.
Have a great
Find us on
weekend.
social.
TJF.
And we will bid you farewell. All right,
Okay.
bye, guys.
Bye.